Back up, okay? They have literally a very similar concept when it comes to obtaining ECG, obtaining hemodynamics, showing calculations. They both have a very similar, let's call it, concept. The difference between them is the buttonology. So, for example, someone is used to drive a Volkswagen. I love my Volkswagen. I know where my buttons is. I know the speed of the car, and I know everything. Suddenly someone hands you a V12 Mercedes. You know, that's a big difference, right? A big smile on your faces. So, there are here a number of things I want you to learn today. It's really important to Hey, I need Gotham. Gotham? I want you to. What? Does we have a pad, mouse pad?
I say if you sit here, maybe it's more comfortable. Huh?
Okay, let's do that. Maybe a couple things in here, okay, that I will teach each and every one of you. And there is a number of things here until we do the zeroing, and then we will. Okay. Now, for today, I'll teach you how to register a patient. Okay, you with me?
Yes.
And I am going to take you through very simple buttonology today. Okay, so now this is as I mentioned, this is your census, i.e. hemodynamic system. A lot of people ask me, well, you know what census mean always. I want you to get used to the terminology. Census is your hemodynamic system. Okay. Now, the number one most important thing is how to register a patient. So now, under patient, you can register.
Yes.
So if you register, there are a number of important things that I want to show you. Emergency. If you press on emergency, let's say you have an emergency patient, and you press on emergency, the machine automatically gives it an emergency number, very unique emergency number that you can edit later. Okay? But my advice is try to edit, because if you send the information to the PACS using the emergency, such an angel. Ooh.
He's an angel.
His name is Angel. What's that? Where did he get? Is it your special one, right? Oh my God.
In her locker.
Oh, I gotta take one of the, can I take that off? No, of course not. Okay, good. So, as you can see here, if you press on an emergency patient, it's a bit tricky. If you move in here, and you see it comes back again, but it only takes a single tour, and then it goes back again from here. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So you got to be it's a bit confusing. So, as I mentioned, patient, if you press an emergency, when you send the PACS, when you send the information to the PACS, it will take that emergency number. Okay? So please edit before you send the patient to the PACS. Okay? Browser is basically when you open and you get all those patients. I can see coronary. I don't know, have you done a case?
No.
Okay, good. Just registered, okay? And there's a number of tests in here that has been done, okay? I'm going to teach you what are these buttons later, but for now, okay, now, so I'm going to close that. I'm going to go back again to register. Browse, this is emergency. Now, print waveforms. Why is it dimmed? Why is it
Not connected with cables.
okay, you don't have waveforms. You don't have
Yeah,
waveforms that have been registered. So how can I print waveforms if I don't have any, right? And in your closed study, we don't have an open study to close, okay? But the moment you have an open study, the moment you have ECGs and stuff, these will light it up so you can actually tell this. So let's register a patient. I press register. This screen comes out. What do you notice in the words? There are some bold words, right? The bold words are mandatory fields. Excellent. It's mandatory field. Excellent. Must, mandatory, should. Well, all correct. Good. So the name. Last name. I'm going to call this guy John Doe. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Very American stuff. Okay, I like that. John. No, I'm
It's the
gonna,
last name.
Doe. Yeah. So Doe is D-O. D-O-E. And first name is John. So I like to put, but if you put Doe alone, it's gonna work. But I like to put John Doe. Now, remember, Siemens is a German system. So when you're gonna search, the family name comes first, apostrophe, and then first name. That's how it's registered. I don't know how is it in the MATLAB, but in here, when you register the patient, the family name goes. So my name is Badr Alanese. So if you have to search Alanese, and then first name is Badr. Okay. So
But sometimes we have 4 names together. So what do you prefer? Last name and first name? How you? Like
You know
Muhammad
what?
Nasser Al.
Al-Qahtani, for
Something,
example.
yeah.
Okay.
First
Put the
name
family
Muhammad
name
Nasser.
Al-Qahtani, and put the first name Muhammad Nasser.
Fine.
Okay? Okay. Yeah. Now ID, I'm going to give him 0000, and you can choose date of birth, or you can choose age. If I put his age 55, what do you think happens here?
The date of birth will come.
then year.
It's today's
Today.
date, backward 55. So I'm going to choose male. Have a look what happens. See? It's the 3rd of April,
Oh.
right? No. It's the 4th of March because it's, as you can see, month date. Yeah. So it gives you today's date backward. Okay. So some hospitals prefer to put the accurate date. Some people just put 55. He was born today. What the heck, Some people do that. Okay. Now, my advice. Yes, sir.
Title is the presetted, Mr. or Mrs. We have to enter.
Sure. I'm happy with that. So John Doe is a Mister, right?
Yes.
How about that? Cool. Excellent.
Here that option not there.
Sorry.
Presetted.
I
So missing is
yeah.
the-
Title. The reason it's not presetted is because some people doesn't like to have anything, So now look, the weight and the height. What's happening?
Yeah, they brought
They're
the
pointing the point of wires.
Cables.
Let it talk inside, okay?
Wonderful.
Very good. How to say excellent in your language? How to say excellent in your language?
Is it Hindi?
Super.
Super.
Super. I know it's not. I know it's not super, but okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, let's pay attention for 2 minutes. Inside the room. سامع؟ مين هذا؟ قاتم اللي يتكلم. Tell him.
Go inside.
So, yeah. So, height. The reason why I say height and weight, because remember, a lot of hemodynamic calculation depends on body mass index. So if you don't put the height and weight, even though it's not necessary, the machine will not calculate it. So please put the height and weight. Now, do you put them in pounds?
No.
No. So I'm going to
Kilograms.
change. Yeah, I'm going to change.
Centimeter.
Hopefully, I'll be able to change the setting and make it
Kilogram.
centimeters and.
kg.
Give me a couple of minutes.
Otherwise, we have to.
Because the address in private hospitals, they like to have address and all these things. Okay, physician. Okay, the physician here, as you can see, there's nothing, but he can type it. So, Doctor
Riyadh.
Riyadh. Dr. Mashal. Dr. Riyadh. Have you seen Dr. Mashal movie, the scary one? I don't remember. Admitting diagnosis, you can write it. Well, so let's say MI. Okay, mitral stenosis. Okay, mitral regurg. Okay, mitral stenosis. You can put the ward. There's a lot of information. This is what?
Study. Calculate.
Oh, so it has to be what? Selected. So under coronary, you have the coronary catheterization. I can select that. You can put physician. You can put all these things. And you can hit the button. Exam.
Exam.
If you hit the button exam, then guess what? Things are going to change now. So you can, for full closure recording, you must start recording and leave it on for the entire. So full closure recording. You know what full closure recording means? Full closure recording. It means that the census will record everything, and then And then you can post-process later. So in post-processing here, see that tab card is post-processing. Now, what does it say here? Pressure analysis cannot be performed if the pressure transducers are unbalanced. So that means, okay, so this is your alarms. The moment you close it, the alarms came. The reason why the alarms came, because the doctor comes and he says, look, this machine is so noisy. Why is it noisy? Doctor, because your patient's heart rate is 44. I know, it's normal. He's bradycardiac. Okay, doctor, the machine alarms. Come on. You know, and then they keep on. So what happened? You can change your limits depending on who, on your patient. If the patient comes and you know the baseline, the heart rate baseline is 55, is 45 minimum is good or not? Yeah, but is it good as an alarm? Yeah, it's good as an alarm. If the patient's baseline heart rate 55, and I put the alarm at 60, what happens?
Always alarm.
Bang, 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 bang. Everybody go bang, bang. So, 120, how about 120? Are you happy? Tacky. But is it a good alarm limit?
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
exactly. Why is it a good? Because above 120 for an adult, there is really something wrong, okay? And it starts alarming. So you set your alarms, okay? Your SpO2, I'm happy with 90 and max of 100. I'm happy with that. Respiratory is being set. I cannot play with that. Respiration, the entitled CO2 and the respiration is dimmed. Why?
You cannot manage.
Because we're not connected to that. Excellent, good. You're not invasive. It says minimum of 60, or this is for your mean, as you can see, right? What's mean pressure?
Diastolic divided by 3.
Systolic plus
Plus
diastolic
diastolic.
multiplied by 2 divided by 3, so it measures your mean. Are you happy with the minimum mean of 60 and a maximum mean of 125? If you're happy, then we're going to keep it this way. And if you're not happy, you can click and change, actually. Okay?
Maximum need not to be 125 mean.
It's extremely high. I agree with you. I agree with you. So you can actually change it. So we're going to click here. I'm going to go down here to, so 110. How about that? 110, are you happy with 110? Cool. Okay. I got the blink. That means it's good. So this is for non-invasive. You can also set up your invasive. Okay. So I'm fine with that. Okay. Now, what does it say here? Audible alarm every 2 minutes. IABB arterial channels. It says P1. Pressure 1 has been selected. Okay. So volume, I can change the volume setting, and I'm gonna hit okay, and I'm happy. Okay. Now. So we were able to register the patient. The moment you register the patient, by default, have a look at here. It says hemo P1AO. What does that mean? That means the default selection, the machine will give you three leads as ECG plus 1 pressure. The machine presumes it's what? It's aortic. This is the default. And guess what? 95% of coronary diagnostic procedures will need that maximum, okay? Now, remember, these are ECG leads. You connect, remember I told you to connect 5, right?
Yeah.
It's going to give you 3 readings, right? Now, the doctor comes and he sees some ECG changes. What's your kind name?
Prabhu.
Huh?
Prabhu.
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 Yeah.
Okay. Prabhu comes and he says, Doctor, we got changes in lead 2, for example, okay? And the doctor says, we have inferior changes. Something happening where? In the RCA, right?
Inferior, yeah.
Inferior. All that can be wrong. Why? Because lead 2 might be attached here. It can be attached here. It can be attached anywhere. So there are dynamic ECG changes, but do not presume that they are related to an area if you misplace your lead. Gotta think, okay? So, Prabhu comes and he puts the lead in the leg. And there's ECG changes. And he says, my changes are anterior. No, doctor, it's just the lead is here. Take it easy, boy, okay? So, so always presume, where is your ECG? When you see ECG changes, you know something is going on, but you cannot be 100% sure until you know where is your lead, okay? Make sense? Good. So this is only to show you ECG, depending on where you attach them. Very good, okay. Attach them to the butt, I'm going to go to the emergency butt. Just kidding, I like to kid you. Okay. Now, look, what does it say here? 200. What does 200 means?
Scale.
Scale. You know what scale means? Girls? Scale? Scale? Prabhu. Shush. Let me talk to the others. I know you know. Good. So, the scale means the machine will read from 0 to 200. What happens if the patient's blood pressure is 210? It goes above.
Above.
Yeah, it goes above. Now, let's say the patient's blood pressure is 350, which is impossible. But guess what happens here? It's going to shoot up here.
No.
Yeah.
It will.
We do.
In the Siemens, in the census, it will go up. You will not see the peak. That's why sometimes when you change your scale, for example, to 40, and the patient's blood pressure is 100, you will only see 2 lines. Where's the peak? It's way up. You don't see it. It's covered, right? So always think about your scale. If you want to read very small pressures, you're going to reduce your scale, right? Okay. If I put 200 and patient's RA pressure is 5, what's going to happen? It's going to be a very tiny line here, very tiny line. Why? Because this is 0 to 20, and 5 is extremely small. So the doctor cannot analyze pressure. So what do? You change?
Change the scale.
Scale. Very good. Change your scale. Allow it to become big. Allow the doctor to see. You're gonna hear. I think those who work in the cath lab they understand the terms. But those who doesn't understand the terms, they will gonna come to the doctor. Hey, Prabhu, please. I need 40 scale on the RA, and I need 100 scale on the AO. So you're gonna go select different pressures. You're gonna change your scaling, and I'm gonna show you all of that. How about that? Cool.
Because RA will not show 200.
It will show here. Some tiny stuff in here. The RA, if
You
it's
have to select.
RA is less.
For RA, right atrial pressure is very small, right? You cannot keep
you have to
it
change your
less.
scale.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to change your scale. You have to change your.
We can see
Yeah, yeah.
digitally. We can see the
Yeah. So
waveform.
something else. Now, you know what? 2-minute break. Okay. I know a lot. I really appreciate it.